What are we divided on? On the surface, when you look at division is not something that we want to be a part of as believers or just in people in general, right? In my marriage, I don't want to be divided from my wife, right? But at times we will be, if it's based on emotions, feelings, culture, a misunderstanding or anything like that. But one thing I think us as believers, we don't need to be divided on. We don't need to be divided when it comes to the word, right? And so when it comes to division, when it comes to the word, I think it's biblical to, I think we need to be divided. If you say you're the same thing as I am, if you're a believer, if you're a Christian, we need to be united on the word. Okay. We may not be united in, preferences, personality, things we like to do, where we like to, live and stuff like that. But when it comes to the word, we need to be united, right? And so the body is a body of different parts, legs, arms, feet, organs, all that stuff. But the one thing we have in common that we're on the same body, we're on the same page, right? We have the same, heartbeat, and that heartbeat should be upon the word. And so even Jesus was talking about this type of divide, right? Because I'm hearing a lot of people in the Christian circles, talking about this real divide. It is a real divide that's going on, especially after this election. And how bad this is, and we as Christians, we don't need to be divided or whatever on politics. And I agree with that to a certain extent, but also from my perspective, how I vote and the reason I vote is based upon the word, right? So if I'm coming at another believer and talking to them the specific reasons why I voted, you know what I'm saying? Giving on the word, talking about the word, and we can't agree to that. You know what I'm saying? Or you can't, and I ask you your reason why you voted and how you voted, and it's not based upon the word. It's based upon propaganda. It's based upon emotions. It's based upon the culture. Then we need to have a division. We need to have a divide, right? Because no matter how I like it or when I fall short, I have to base it upon the word, right? That's a non-negotiable. Yep. You know what I'm saying? It should be a non-negotiable for believers and Christians. And so if we're going to be divided, we need to be divided on the word. And so I want to read Matthew 10, 34 through 39, the NIV. It says, "Do not suppose that I have come to bring peace to the earth. I did not come to bring peace, but a sword. For I've come to turn a man against his father, a daughter against her mother, a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. A man's enemies will be the members of his own household. Anyone who loves their father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. Anyone who loves their son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. Whoever does not take up their cross and follow me is not worthy of me. Whoever finds their life will lose it, and whoever loses their life for my sake will find it." So if, even given what Jesus was saying right here, he didn't come to the earth to bring peace. Like, yes, he came to the earth to bring peace with our sin, but peace as in, you know what I'm saying, how we look at it as humans, our emotions and tension and stuff like that. Like, he knew the message that he wanted to bring across was going to be a divisive message, because everybody is not going to take up their cross and follow him, right? And those that do, they're going to be screaming on the other side that they're being irrational, judgmental, or whatever, or stop the traditions that they've always did. So I think that having a divide and having a division is a healthy thing, especially in today's time. I think there's a distinct line, especially after this election, of where we all sit, because we hear two different voices going on in every different church seems to way. Like the black church saying something, and then the white church saying something, then everything in the middle maybe saying something else. Somebody got to be lying. Yep. Right? Somebody got to be lying. And so, because they're saying things that are pretty much completely opposite of each other. And so if we go back to the word, if we look at the word and we discern everything by the word, it will be easy to tell who's telling the truth. And so when it comes to the word, we don't need to have a divide, right? Now, us as a society, we're always going to have a divide when it comes to, if you're not a believer, this that doesn't even apply when it comes to the word, but just emotionally, cultural preferences and stuff like that. We're going to have a divide with that, right? But when it comes to the word, there should be no divide, right? There should be no complication in how we interpreting things. And so I just want to debunk the narrative that having division in the church is bad when it comes to the word. Now, when it comes to other stuff, the emotions and cultural things, okay, we can talk about that. But when it comes to the word, that should be our common ground that we can come to and be like, okay, let's hash this out. That's one of the reasons why it says in the word we shouldn't be unequally yoked, because if you're with a believer, the thing that should break the tie when it comes to any type of situation or argument or disagreement should be the word, right? And so now, because this is our common ground, and so whatever the word says, that's what we're going to do. So I'm for division, man. I'm for division if it's based upon the word. And so even if there's division based upon the word, we don't have to treat somebody, you know what I'm saying, bad or be in strife, but we can love them knowing that the divide is a biblical thing. It's not based on my emotions, it's not based upon my feelings. It's based upon the word. And so I think a healthy division is one that's based on the word. Until next time, y'all. Salute.